What's up, Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader here with my top 20 lessons from 20 plus years on being on Wall Street, which is crazy that I've been doing this for 2 decades. But first, patterns repeat, okay? The beautiful thing about being in this game for 20 plus years is seeing the repetition. Very similar thing happened in the beginning of my career with the dot-com stocks to recently Bitcoin stocks. The exact same patterns, the exact same kinds of piece of press releases and news spiked the stocks. I profited on both. I actually profited more back in the year 2000 because I was more aggressive. I wasn't as smart. So you can choose to be aggressive. You can choose to be conservative, but understand that patterns repeat. You just have to be around and you have to be prepared for that. Too many people are not looking for patterns to repeat. They're always saying, oh, this is a new technology. This is something new. It might be a new technology, but the market is very similar. And when there's a lot of hype is very predictable, and it's a good thing. Number 2, think like a retired trader. Only come out of retirement when a trade is good enough. And I know this is counterintuitive. I know that it hurts your brain just thinking about it like, what, Tim? Like you're a retired trader? No, I trade pretty much every day. But with that mindset, thinking that I don't have to trade, thinking that, oh, I'm retired, but I'm only going to come out of retirement if there's a trade that's good enough, that gives me the patience needed to focus on only the best trades. And yeah, sometimes I miss some decent trades, but if you learn to focus on only the best trades, you will be better off and you'll have more time to go and live. You know, I also trade while I travel. I've been to over 100 countries. In the year 2019, I did over 30 countries, building schools, checking out new charities, just enjoying life, all while making a solid 6 figures. So I am basically a retired trader who trades nearly every day. Think about that. Third, going along with that, sometimes the best trade is no trade. Cash is often the best option, and it's the most underappreciated, underutilized asset. You think like, oh, I have cash in my account. I always have to be in a trade. I always have to be in an investment. No, you don't. If you just sit on the sidelines and wait for trends to appear, wait for patterns to appear, wait for the best setups, you are often going to outperform versus a lot of people where they force trades. They win a little bit, you know, they lose a little bit. They're basically frustrated like most traders who don't stick to the best trades because they're always trying to win. Again, this is a counterintuitive lesson, but the longer you're in this game, you recognize that counterintuitive lessons work the best. So I sit on my hands right now, like as I'm filming this, I have 0 stocks, 0 investments. I'm sitting and waiting for a trend, sitting and waiting for the best setups only. Number 4, scams will always happen. You can be angry, you could be bitter, but education is the key to prevention. So being fully transparent, recognizing that there are scams, recognizing your wins and your losses, being open to everything, and just having real testimonials. You know, for me, I'm a teacher. There's so many people in the industry that claim to make millions and claim to be able to have millionaire students, but they're students and they themselves don't even show all of their trades transparently. A lot of fake stuff going around. And it's also not just the trades themselves. You also have to think about what is the risk. A lot of these short sellers these days, I say, have kind of become the new penny stock promoters because they don't talk about the risks when you short sell. Even if you eventually do win, you risk losing a lot, you risk blowing up. There are scams, there are sketchy characters, there are fakes, there are frauds. It's always going to happen. The best protection is education, and just expect the worst out of everybody and you'll never be disappointed. I know that's a cynical way of looking at things, but you'll learn that's how it is. Number 5, be real with yourself, be real with everyone else too. Part of my success, or probably a big key to my success, has been me being very blunt with myself. When I make a mistake, I hold myself accountable. I don't try and forget it. You don't have to be perfect, okay? Nobody is perfect in this industry. Nobody is perfect in this world. On social media, I'm very blunt. I have to be real about like my travels and trading and charity and what I see. And I think it's more important to be very upfront with everybody. It sets a good precedent. You don't have to like walk on eggshells all the time. I know a lot of fake people and they're so worried about what other people think about them, what to say, and they don't want to slip up because then like their whole house of cards will tumble. Just be real, be honest, accept that you're going to make mistakes sometimes. Try to learn from those mistakes. Try to teach other people from those mistakes and you'll be better off and you'll be happier. Number 6, This is a battlefield. If you're unprepared, you will get decimated. I make the analogy, that little E-Trade baby that dances in the commercials, like, look how easy the stock market is. If it was a realistic interpretation of what the stock market and trading is, that baby would be bloody. The baby would be decimated. It would have to be blurred out on TV because it would just be too graphic. That is the battlefield that you're walking onto. And if you just say, oh, I'm going to invest in any company, oh, I believe I'm going to be a millionaire, you're going to get crushed and you're probably going to lose all your money. You're probably going to be very frustrated. You're going to be very confused. You're going to be very sad and bitter, like most traders. So again, arm yourself with education. I look at myself as kind of a drill sergeant, and it's my job to equip you for this battlefield because I've been in battle for 20 plus years. That analogy works. I'm not here to be your friend. Most drill sergeants are actually hated by the people that they train. That's fine. I have enough friends. I have no time for that. I would rather keep you safe and help you thrive. Number 7, people underestimate how much studying there is at the start, but how easy it is after you learn eventually, and then you rinse and repeat after enough years. The cool thing about this, like I said, patterns repeat. The rules are pretty much the same. It's not an exact science, but it was scary. It was eerie how similar the dot-com spikes were to Bitcoin, like marijuana, like China, like biotech, like nanotech, like Ebola, like police equipment stocks. It's the same kinds of patterns. And if you start getting in tune with these patterns, if you start learning from them, I'm fortunate I have a photographic memory, so I can literally remember what happened in the year 2000, 20 years later. It's almost the same. So once you learn it, you'll have that for the rest of your life. But at the same time, you don't learn everything right away. Even my top student, Tim Grattani, who has made nearly $9 million as we're filming this, started with just $1,500. He made nothing his first 9 months. So expect to study a lot and expect that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Number 8, turning a few $1,000 into millions is possible in a few years with niche strategies and if you're aggressive when there are ideal opportunities. If there's no hot sector, like right now, it's tougher. If you're not aggressive, it's tougher. But I want you to understand that is possible. But at the same time, don't feel like you have to make millions of dollars all right away. I want you to get lasting wealth. I want you to earn it. And oftentimes, it's better to start very small with a much smaller account than you want, because it's not just how much money you make in the beginning, it's how much money can you end up with 5, 10, 20 years later. So you need to think with that kind of marathon mindset. What can you do today, this week, this month to put yourself in the best position months, years, decades later on? It's often not the same as people who want to make the most money right away. They take unnecessary risks. They usually blow up like most Bitcoin traders or Forex traders. So think long term. How do you create lasting wealth? Number 9, rule number 1 for me is cut losses quickly. Any one trade can blow you up. If you start getting too cocky, I don't care that patterns are similar and you might think, oh, my research is good. Any one trade, if you go all in, if you use leverage, you blow up. I've seen it happen to overly cocky people. I've had former students get cocky. I've had non-students make fun of my, how conservative I am and how I trade so cowardly, and then they blow up. Gunslingers blow up. So for me, rule number 1 is I cut losses quickly. I've actually gotten more conservative the longer I'm in this game, not because I'm less sure of myself, but just because I've made a lot of money. I like trading conservatively. I don't like the stress that I used to have. I made millions in the beginning, but I also had a lot of stress, a lot of risk. I kind of got lucky. I could have risked blowing up early on in my career. These days, I still make 6 figures a year from trading, but I don't risk blowing up. I live stress-free. I think that's the way to be. Number 10, trading scared makes trading not so scary. Think about this for a few moments, okay? I'm trading penny stocks, I'm day trading, I'm short selling, I'm trading all the riskiest stuff with all the riskiest strategies, at least according to most people. But my losses are very small because rule number 1 is cut losses quickly. And I go into my trades thinking like, okay, if this stock doesn't do exactly what I want, I'm going to get out. I don't even have to wait for a loss. Sometimes I exit when I'm up 1 or 2%, but if I'm buying a breakout and the stock isn't breaking out as much as I thought, I exit with a small gain. So you don't have to just wait for your risk levels to get taken out in order to get out. You can get out at any time. I often say, when in doubt, get out. And this cowardly, castrated choir boy kind of trading mindset has kept me safe. and I would rather be overly safe. Sometimes the stocks keep going and I already took my 1 or 2% profits, but being safe matters more to me than going for home runs. Number 11, there is so much misinformation, BS, lies in this niche in trading in the stock market on Wall Street, but don't get angry. Use it to your advantage because it creates informational inefficiencies. You know, in the past, penny stock promoters used to lie about these companies and their upside. So when the stock spiked big, all you had to do was basically short sell the ones that were scams or pumps, and they would come crashing down because that's inevitable. Now I think short sellers are the new promoters where they say, look how easy it is. These companies have no fundamentals. So they're betting against stocks, and yet that's creating short squeezes. So we're seeing stocks go right now in the year 2019 from like $1 to like $10, $2 to $20, $3 to like $70 in a few days. That's only due to the short sellers. So you have to start thinking about, why is somebody lying? You know, short sellers want to lure people into kind of the dark side. Promoters wanted to lure people into the pump and dumps. Don't get angry, accept that there's always going to be liars, and then use that to profit off that informational inefficiency that far too few people even understand. Number 12, the more experience, the better, because eventually you're going to find your groove. It's not just about making as much money as possible. Like I said, less stress is also amazing. Making the stock market work for you. You know, I don't want to sit in front of a computer 9 to 5. Like, I got into the market to get out of the 9 to 5 lifestyle. And also, I take singles. I don't go for home runs. That works for me. You know, I take the meat of the move. So my average profit over 20 years is just around $1,800 on a trade, but that has added up to millions. I know some people where they like going for home runs. They like going for big wins. That's up to you. All I know is that what works for me is hitting singles. My average trading profit is roughly 7%, but I do it over and over and over again. My losses are like 1%, 2%. I'm trading while traveling the world, building schools in third world countries, meeting amazing people all over the place, having amazing students as I teach this stuff. I have made this work for me, and it's definitely not what I thought it would be, and it's probably not what other people want. I know most people want to manage as much money as possible, but think about what you want. Number 13, giving back to others, the less fortunate, you know, like giving them money through my charity, giving them through education, through my teachings. To me, that is the best feeling in the world. You know, money is nice, okay? I appreciate the freedom that money has gotten me. I appreciate being able to give back to my parents and take care of my friends and my family. So I appreciate that, but it's not everything. And I know a lot of rich people where they kind of live meaningless lives, just buying cars and jets and stuff like that. I bought all the cars that I dreamed about when I was a kid. That was nice, but every new exotic car that I got was a little less exciting. So I'm more into the feeling than I am with material goods. And that, again, that's just me. So I love giving back, and I encourage you to start thinking that way too. I wish more rich people talked about like this, but I don't know, they just don't. And a lot of rich people I know are depressed and lonely because all they have is their money. I'm never lonely. In fact, I'm overwhelmed. I wish I could be a little more lonely. Maybe I should stop giving so many lessons to so many people. Number 14, new technologies make this the best time ever to get educated and optimize in record time. Like, you have it so much easier than I did when I was first getting started 20 plus years ago. I didn't have videos. I couldn't do a video like this. I didn't have any teachers. I learned through trial and error, and I learned from a lot of liars on message boards. And some of those people on the message boards would be like, yeah, you learned from me. And I'm like, yeah, I learned what not to do because you lied on those message boards. So for me, I want to be fully transparent. I'm not the best trader in the world, but I have made millions of dollars. I have several millionaire students. We show every single trade. We don't have fake names and just claim to make millions like some people. You have an amazing opportunity to learn if you utilize education and if you pick your strategy and mentor very carefully, okay? Like I said, there's a lot of fakes out there, but dig through it all, okay? I know a lot of people say don't use social media so much. Use social media, just use it the right way. Use these new educational tools, whether it's podcasts, videos, webinars, DVDs, whatever. Number 15, what's the next hot stock and what's the next hot sector? I don't know, okay? What should I invest in? I don't know. Invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge, invest in your future, and let the market tell you. That's the beauty of my strategy, okay? I let the market show me what is a big percent gainer on one day or 1 week, because as you learn, this stuff plays out, okay? So when there's one big spike, a stock is up 30% on one day due to a good sector, usually the next day, day 2 or day 3 or day 4, it can continue because trends take time for a lot of people to recognize, especially with low price stocks. So you don't have to be first. You don't have to play the guessing game that most people play. You can wait for the market. You can wait for these stocks. You can wait for these sectors to tell you. And you should just be looking at the big percent gainers every single day. It's not an exact science, but if something's really going to spike a lot over several weeks, you'll see it after day 1 or day 2. Number 16, this goes along with that. Learn to react, not predict. There's time delays. Like, you do not need to play guessing games like most people think. You should not be ahead of time, right? You shouldn't just invest in 10 penny stocks and hope one of them will take off. Instead, sit in cash. Like I said, a lot of these lessons relate to each other. Sit in cash, do nothing, and then wait to see what a big percent gain pops up on your radar, whether it's, all the shipping stocks or all the Chinese stocks, or if one company has a new product, they're going to spike for one day. You just have to recognize that. So no matter where you are in the world, no matter what you're doing, try to check in at least once per day, maybe twice per day, maybe once in the morning, once in the afternoon. See what are the biggest percent gainers in the low price stock market. Then look at what the news is that's causing that spike and see, should this have legs? Can this have legs? And then watch it on day 2, day 3, day 4. Sometimes it spikes on day 5. It's not an exact science, like I said. Number 17, take a little something from every successful and fully transparent trader and investor and make their lessons, their strategy work for you. And it's very important that you learn from only people who are fully transparent. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there, they like to claim to be successful. They don't show you all their trades. They don't show you all the risks. I see some people making like $30,000 in a day, and yet they're using like $1 million account to do it. You got to look at the percentage gains too. It's not just about making big money. But if someone does make consistent percentage gains like I do and like my top students do, where we make consistent 5, 7, 10, 20% gains. And sometimes we lose, but we lose 1, 2, 3%. Learn from them. Learn from their strategies. In my challenge chat room, for example, we have so many top students, whether they've made 7 figures or some of my upcoming 6-figure students, where they're sharing everything they know. And it's a great community. Learn from that and take a little something from every successful trader. Number 18, this is not an exact science, but this also is not rocket science. And I have like the name KISS, Keep It Simple Stupid. This often works best because most people in finance are morons. So simpler strategies, simpler patterns work well. Like, think about like what a caveman would do. Like if you can explain a story of a stock or a sector and make it sound appealing to a caveman and have the caveman be like, ooh, I like, or like, what is his name? Pauly Shore in, what was that? Encino Man. Picture the whole Wall Street, everyone in finance like Pauly Shore and Encino Man. Or wait, no, it was Brendan Fraser who was the guy, but Pauly Shore wasn't that much smarter. Anybody who's an idiot, try and think about what kind of stock they would like. And if you can market that stock or that idea to them, it can probably take off on Wall Street. Number 19, stock prices are not just about current hot news or current hot products. Instead, they like to price in the future and perception, which again is tough to quantify exactly. This isn't an exact science, but a lot of people are surprised because a company might issue record profits and their stock is down, or a company might get FDA approval and their stock isn't up that much or it's down. And people are like, but this is good news. The stock market makes no sense. Sometimes it's better to buy on rumor and sell on news. People are pricing in expectations. So you have to think about that. What is going to happen in the future? It doesn't matter if a company has record profits right now, they could be out of business, especially on social media, in a few years. So think about what products, what companies are going to do well in the next few years. What companies have big potential? Even if, let's say like space exploration, that's going to take a few decades, but some of the space exploration stocks are spiking right now because people are getting excited. Number 20, I love my little hated niche. A lot of people hate on penny stocks. They hate on me. I really laugh at my haters. Remember my first millionaire student, Michael Good, was also my first hater. Now he's made over $2 million. So I love being real. I love the inefficiencies. I love the hate. I love the liars. I love the scammers. This is my little niche. And for me, it's my honor to trade it and teach it. I would always choose to play in this little niche. It's like, playing basketball against mini me instead of like if I traded Forex or if I traded big cap stocks, I mean, that would be like playing basketball against Michael Jordan. I would just get blocked every time. Instead, I'm playing against little mini me and he's trying to shoot and I'm just rejecting him. There's a lot of, mental midgets, not necessarily physical midgets, but mental midgets in this niche. That's why it's easier. That's why I think this is better, especially if you have a small account. It is so tough to grow a small account into anything big on real Wall Street unless you use leverage or take a lot of risks. Here, you can turn a few thousand into several million. And while that might not be a lot for the Wall Street snobs and elitists, for me, a few $1,000,000 has given me a great life. Thank you. Leave some comments below this video. Let me know what you think about these 20 tips. I have so many more, but I just wanted to give you a little taste of what I've learned over the past 2 decades and simplify this game a little bit. So hopefully I can help you. I'm going to include a bunch of links underneath this video too to help you even more. It's all about education. The more you know, the more you study, the better prepared you are, the better your odds are on every single trade. And that way you can make money and not lose money like 90% of traders who are unprepared, who don't understand these 20 lessons and more. Cheers. Hey, Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope that they help you. I want to share everything that I've learned over the years. You can check out more videos right over there and also click subscribe so that you can watch all of these videos, get that knowledge and become my next millionaire student.